So today I want to talk about something that I see all the time with women and really just people and life in general. And specifically, I'm going to be talking today about when people want to get healthier, when they want to lose weight, feel better, have more energy. They may tell themselves this: I just need to get through this busy season. I'll start after vacation. I'll start after summer. I'll start after the holidays. I'll start when life calms down. But here's the problem. Life doesn't usually calm down. There's always another event, another vacation, another birthday party, another stressful week at work, another reason to put it off. And before you know it, months, or even years, or sometimes even decades have passed by. So if you've been waiting for the right time to start your health journey, then this episode is for you. Hi friends, and welcome to the Healthy Beyond 40 show. I'm Michele, mama of 4 and military wife. And I'm passionate about helping women get healthy from the inside out so they can feel better and live their best life. Do you feel like you're struggling to lose weight and get in shape? If you're ready to develop healthier habits, exercise consistently, and lose weight sustainably, then you're in the right place. I combine my expertise from my doctorate in physical therapy to my experience as a health coach, personal trainer, and yoga teacher to bring you actionable steps for a healthy lifestyle. No magic pill here. So lace up those shoes and get moving. So when we're thinking about this episode, and really, we need to dig down and find our why when we want to start something new. Because if we don't really know our why, if we're not really tuned in, if we're not living intentionally, then it's easy to keep putting something off, right? And we all have different personalities. So some people, putting things off comes really easy to them. Other people might be a little bit more of someone who starts something, or maybe sometimes we start something and it fizzles out really quickly. So one of the first things I like to start talking about with someone who's on a health journey is really finding their why. And this helps us to really focus our brains, our minds, and our intentions as we live each day, each week, and each month. And this doesn't have to be something huge or super emotional or life-changing. But we have to really find our why. And sometimes there's more superficial reasons, like I want to lose weight or I want to be a certain size. And we just have to keep digging a little deeper. Maybe we want more energy. We want to feel comfortable in our clothes. And maybe if we keep digging deeper, we want to be able to play and run around with our kids or grandkids and keep up with our family. Maybe we want to prevent chronic diseases, reduce aches and pains, feel confident again, feel stronger. If this is you and you really don't know what your why is, I want you to dig deep and keep asking yourself, why? So maybe when those first few things come up, dig a little deeper and see if there's a deeper why. Something that's really important to you and can motivate you when things are tough. It just has to matter to you, because a lot of times when motivation fades, and it will, we have to come back to our why. And we want to come back to this why pretty frequently. So it might be something that you write down that you're reading daily, right? Because it's easy for our brain to go on autopilot and do the habits that we're used to. And it's really hard to start something new. So if you're looking to start some new healthy habits, a new workout routine, a new walk routine, eating better, the easiest thing is going to be to do what you've always done. To do something different in any of those areas is going to take a lot of effort. And our brain doesn't like to expend a lot of effort. So we really have to dig down, know that why. We have to keep repeating it to ourselves, and we have to sort of push ourselves, especially when we're starting something. So once you've gotten your why, I want you to think about what just that first step is. And a lot of times when I'm talking with people, a lot of people know what that first step is. Because we're not trying to fix everything. We just have to figure out what that next step is. So it could be things as simple as drink more water, walk more, eat more protein, strength train a few times a week, go to bed earlier, stop mindlessly snacking at nighttime. Right? It's not going to be all these things. It's going to be, what is the next step for you? What do you know that will make a difference? And what do you think you're ready to be able to do? Right? Not snacking after dinner? can be a harder one than drink more water. So we want to also start where we're ready. So we don't have to spend months figuring out the perfect plan, the perfect diet, the perfect workout, the perfect supplements, the perfect timing, because all of that leads to procrastination. And a lot of times we aren't lacking information. We're just avoid making a decision. So when you notice yourself procrastinating about something that's important to you, dig down, find that why, and figure out what that next step is. Something that you can commit to. And sometimes we might need support to help stay committed to that. But don't stay stuck because you don't feel like you have enough information or you don't know how you're supposed to eat. A lot of us already know the basics, right? There's definitely things sometimes people don't know or sometimes we can tweak, but most of us sort of know the basics. We know some foods that aren't good for us and some foods that are better for us. So we can start wherever you're at. And so sometimes when we are procrastinating, we are avoiding making a decision. And when we're avoiding making a decision, that is a decision. So indecision is still a decision. So this is something that I like to remind people of. So not deciding, you are still deciding something. So when you choose not to walk today, you're choosing something else. When you choose not to meal prep, you're choosing something else. When you choose not to schedule your workouts, you're choosing something else. We're always making choices. Every day, every hour. And this idea that not deciding and still deciding can be really powerful. Because so often we just have an excuse and we think because we haven't started or we're not deciding something, like that somehow stops us from failing or feeling in a better place. So think about if there's something in your health that you are not deciding, that maybe you feel stuck in, and know that you are making a decision. And you have the power to make a different decision, to figure out what that next step is. Because it's actually empowering when we can think that we have more control, right? We can't control everything. But when we take that responsibility and that ownership for what we're doing and what we're not doing, that can be empowering. So there's this book called Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink that I listened to a month ago. And the basic idea of it is really simple. We have to take ownership of what's happening in our life. So it's written from a military perspective, and then he also talks about how to use these principles with people in the business world. But I had heard of the book from someone else who is a stay-at-home mom. So we can apply these principles to ourself and to our role in our family. So where can we take ownership? Because sometimes it gets easy to not make the decision. So that means we're not taking ownership of our health. Or maybe in our parenting, right? Maybe we need to take more ownership in our parenting or in our house, keeping up with our house, right? And you guys know we don't have to do everything. Our house doesn't have to be perfect. But maybe there's some areas where we're really not taking ownership, right? When it comes to our health, we can't control genetics. We can't control our age. We can't control every circumstance. But you can make a choice for what you put into your mouth. You can make a choice whether you move your body. So you can control whether you go for that walk in the morning or the afternoon. You can control whether you are choosing a protein over a donut. You can control whether you spend 10 minutes exercising or none. So most of the days, we have choices where we can make these happen or not, right? Some days life may happen, but we have the choice to set our lives up how we can. We have the choice to take extreme ownership over our health and stop making excuses and start making some progress. Just as with our kids, we try to teach them to start taking responsibility, whether that is of cleaning their room or, right, if they say a mean thing to someone else, taking responsibility for that, apologizing, making it right. So we have to think about this when it comes to our health. We can apply the same principle. How can I take more extreme ownership over my health? Because I think just a couple episodes ago, I did an episode about chronic diseases. I mean, a huge percent are preventable. So it comes back to us taking extreme ownership, doing those actions that we need to do, getting support if we need support, taking one step at a time. So remember, there is no perfect time. I wish I could tell you that next month life is going to slow down and it's going to be so easy for you to start to exercise and eat healthy. But most likely, that never seems to come for most of us. We're not suddenly going to have more time. Life doesn't suddenly get easier. It's not usually how life works. There tends to always be something. And remember, the women who succeed in taking care of their health, they're not necessarily perfect all the time, but they are making healthy choices a good amount of the time. They're taking that ownership and that responsibility over their health. They're the ones who start before they're ready. They start imperfectly, they start small, and they start with what they have and they just keep going. A lot of times when I'm working with clients, we might start on one habit, then maybe two, then maybe three, and it goes over a span of months and months. Everybody has a different pace. But when you start getting intentional and you start choosing your health and you start working through some of those feelings, emotions, or circumstances or pieces that you just seem that you can't figure out, then you can start making those steps forward. So think, what is the one thing you know that you should be doing that feels like it's doable? And pick that one thing. Maybe it's walking every day, eating some protein at breakfast, drinking more water, going to bed earlier, starting to strength train. So pick one, not 10. Just start with one and practice being consistent, because consistency beats perfection every time. And so with consistency, a lot of times with my clients, I like that consistency or success with that habit or goal to be 80 to 90%. Of course, it could be 100 too. But when we start to do something 80 to 90% of the time, that starts to become the habit. That starts to become the default. So if you've been waiting for the right time, consider the right time may not be coming, right? Especially with summer here. Maybe we have vacations, we get busy, we're off of our routine. But the choice is simply whether you're going to start now or continue waiting. And remember, waiting is a decision. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need the perfect motivation. You just need a decision to take the next step. And if you're listening and thinking, I know what I should be doing, but I'm struggling to actually do it consistently, or maybe I'm actually not sure where to start. Maybe you have like 3 different things that could be a starting point. Then I encourage you to set up a free call with me where we can chat and I can get to know you. And we can sort of figure out if maybe some support or accountability would help you really walk through the mindset or the habits or help you get a plan in place. And we'll be able to talk about where you're stuck and what's been holding you back and really set up a realistic, sustainable plan to help you on your health journey. So in the show notes, I will put a link where you can set up a free call with me where we'll chat. It's a no pressure call. So if that's you, I encourage you to be brave and set up that call.